there have been a lot of things that are going on around the country having to do with teachers, and 3 states in particular. We're going to talk about Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Arizona. Let's talk about Oklahoma. Teachers there have just ended a 9-day walkout where they got a lot of what they asked for. They asked for $10,000 in raises. The result, teachers won a raise of about $6,000 depending on the experience, while members of school support staff will see a raise of $1,250. They got in total about $479 million in extra money. $405 will go to pay for staff, and then the rest will go to textbooks, health coverage, state aid, etc. In terms of how to pay for it, that was a little dicier. They originally wanted a repeal of a capital gains tax, which would fall on wealthier citizens. Instead, the Republican-controlled legislature and Governor Mary Fallin instituted new or higher taxes on oil and gas production, tobacco, motor fuels, and online sales. The state will also allow ball and dice gambling, which will be taxed. This movement started out on Facebook and then kind of went toward the unions. You don't have to be in a teachers union. It's voluntary, so it started with more grassroots, and then the union came over and made a push for that. So that's what happened there. Kentucky, they had a day of action, and that day of action, they haven't really gotten anything yet, according to reports that we've read. What were they asking for? Originally, they said that the Kentucky Education Association strongly opposes a pension reform bill under which new hires will have to enter a hybrid cash balance plan as opposed to a traditional pension. The difference is the traditional pension is you essentially get a fixed amount every year and it's based on your highest earning years. A cash balance plan is based on like your overall time there, and they contribute a little bit. It's more like a 401k. It also limits new 6 days teachers can put toward retirement. This has been signed recently by the governor. In addition to that, they are also asking for an override of Governor Matt Bevin's vetoes of budget and revenue bills, both of which the union said are crucial to funding public education. So keep an eye on that. That was their day of action. And finally, in Arizona, the teachers wanted a 20% raise. The counter offer from the governor was, how about a 1% raise?
Oh my God.
They went back and forth, and the conclusion was the counter offer to the counter offer. It's a 20% raise that they're getting for teachers in Arizona. Under Governor Doug Ducey's proposal, teachers' pay would increase 9% in the 2018 school year and then another 5% for the next 2 years, in addition to the 1% he originally offered, boosting average salary to $58,130 from the current $48,372 by 2020. So there you go.
I love these teacher strikes, and it's about time people fought back. I love that it started in red states. I love that it's parents that are helping the strikers. I remember reading in Oklahoma where the mom was like, I just had enough. She's like, you raise my taxes, whatever, I don't care. Raise taxes because our kids are not learning, and what's the point if we've like destroyed our kids' future? And so, and it's working. You know why they're not paying the teachers as much until these strikes began? Because they can get away with it. There's nonstop lobbyists push for tax cuts for the rich. In Oklahoma, they did about $1 billion tax cut. So the teachers said, why don't we reverse that and spend it towards education and educating everybody's kids? And the answers by Republicans in Oklahoma was no way, under no circumstances. So if you're wondering why oil and gas tax, among other things like the sales tax that were increased in Oklahoma, because those taxes all are regressive. They get applied across the board. So if you pay a sales tax, that's a much bigger percentage of your income if you're poor or middle class than it is for a rich person. But the taxes that they cut help the rich more. So it's all about, well, I don't want to reverse those taxes because those mainly help the rich. I could increase taxes that mainly fall on the middle class and the poor. That I'll do. By the way, the oil industry is now trying to put on a referendum in Oklahoma to reverse that tax anyway. So they're going to fight no matter what.
They're really going to struggle. Oil and gas companies historically have had a really hard time with profits. So these taxes are really going to hurt them. But you mentioned that you love that it's happening in red states. This all started with West Virginia. Teachers in West Virginia were frustrated with the fact that they hadn't gotten raises in a long time, that their schools were underfunded. And so they did protest and they did get what they wanted. And that inspired teachers in other red states to act. And I think the reason why we're seeing it in red states is because these are the very states that are more likely to cut taxes on the wealthy. They're the ones who think that high taxes are a bad idea, or paying your fair share of taxes is a bad idea. And so they continuously defund education, and it lowers the quality of the education in these states. If you look at a list of teacher salaries and you rank those teacher salaries from the lowest to the highest, at the very top, you're gonna see those very red states that we're talking about right now. They're the states that pay them the least and give them the least benefits. And so it's just something to keep in mind. If you're living in a red state, have children going to public schools, and happen to vote for conservatives, they don't have your best interest in mind. They don't have your kids' best interest in mind. They have the wealthy's best interest in mind.
I think these teachers, especially in Oklahoma, it's a really interesting indication of what could come this fall, because they're being so strategic. They're saying, we're gonna end this walkout, we're gonna take the gains that we've made, and we're gonna come back, and we're gonna run against all the people who have put obstacles in our way, like Cindy Ralston, who was a teacher for 30 years in Oklahoma. And after she was very offended by her state representative, Kevin McDougal, not showing any interest in adding more resources to the schools there, she just decided, I'm gonna run against him. So I think it's super strategic, and for the goals that they are trying to meet, I think it's a pretty smart strategy.
Yeah, teachers unions, you look at a state like Oklahoma, you would think that unions would have more power, and they do traditionally in collective bargaining states as opposed to non-collective bargaining states. But there is this weird thing with teacher unions, and I studied this in college, which was in states that don't have a lot of infrastructure and have been gutted, the teachers unions are really and can be really strong because there's teachers everywhere. And if they can fundraise around the state, and if you need to go to the state house as a representative, if you do get elected, there's someone who can substitute for you because they have a plan for substitute teachers. I've studied this extensively in Alabama, a non-collective bargaining state that has no business having strong teachers unions. But Paul Hubbard, for those of you who follow Alabama politics, was called the 800-pound gorilla of Alabama politics, and that's because he had the teachers unions. He had the teachers union behind him, and he was able to dictate policy for a lot of things in Alabama. It's actually, these teachers unions can be really strong if they do organize.
Well, so they should be a role model for everyone else, because it turns out if you use your power, you actually can get a little bit of justice. But if you don't use your power, then you're gonna get nothing. Mm-hmm. In West Virginia and in Kentucky, they went about a decade without a raise. I think in West Virginia, they went nearly 2 decades, and where their real income had actually declined when you took into effect their health insurance premiums, because those kept rising, but their incomes didn't.
And inflation overall.
Cost of living.
Let alone inflation, by the way, let alone inflation. And so if you don't fight back, the people who have lobbyists and the donors are gonna win. But if you do fight back, you actually have a shot, because we do still have elections. I know that they overwhelm the elections with their money and their ads and their propaganda, but look, if I'm being overly optimistic, and sometimes I am, and I frame it that way because I'm not positive, but there is a chance that the Great Awakening has begun in the red states, where people look around and go, yeah, we tried giving everything to the rich and to corporations for like 40, 50 years. And where has it gotten us? And the red states are the poorest states, so I'm not under an illusion that they're gonna wake up one day and let go of the social causes, that they're gonna wake up and be largely pro-choice. No, but I think that they're looking around at the devastation of their lives, mm-hmm. and the wages that have been flat for so long, that they go, I don't think this worked. In a way, the Hillary Clinton-Donald Trump election was that, because they were so mad at the establishment, rightfully so. But you gotta look at your own state's establishment and what they've been doing. And what did the establishment, both Republican and Democrat, do at the national level? Give to their donors, give to the rich, give to the corporations who pay them. So wake up and smell the corruption. And as you do, realize in your states, it's largely the Republicans. So I think the fight back is amazing. For God's sake, learn from them. Use your power.
Look, we're living in a country where all these teachers, if they combine their salaries, they still wouldn't make as much as Tristan Thompson. We have to ask ourselves, are we okay with that as a society?
If you like this video, bless your heart. We got a lot more where that came from. We do a full show every day, Monday through Friday. Come enjoy it ad-free by becoming a member, tytnetwork.com/join.